Category 1-2s, 122 riders. The field continues to grow and get bigger and bigger as we get ready to kick off the McNeely's Group Blue Dome Criterium. Before we get ready to start day number 1, if everyone could please stand who are able to, as we get ready to honor our nation with our national anthem. And here to sing the national anthem is Tulsa Opera's Philstrup resident artist, Lydia Gray.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's give a big round of applause. Lydia Gray, thank you very much. Once again from Tulsa Opera's Philstrup resident, an incredible national anthem. And riders, we are about 2 minutes out. 2 minutes out. Riders, a little bit of final instructions at the conclusion of your race. Top 3, your podium will be held immediately after your race. Top 3. Free laps are over with 4 laps to go. No more free laps with 4 laps to go. The pit is right around turn number 1. It's a black tent on your right-hand side. Once again, no more free laps with 4 laps to go. You are not allowed to ride backward on the course. You can cut the course to be able to get to the pit. And riders out of contention, if you're off the back, you will be withdrawn from the race, and you must listen to the instructions of the referee, or you might be disqualified not only on today, but for the rest of the events. I want you guys to have a safe ride, a good ride, as we have a massive field on the line. Once again, 122 starters, and we are 1 minute out. Last year was Austin Edgar. He was riding in the Masters race a little bit earlier. He won. Seth Lastly was second. Christian Dechampin third. 2021, it was Ama Insek who took the win, along with Jacob Lastly and Logan Grace. Those are talented riders that have continued to be able to move up. These guys looking to be able to gain points as well, as they are going to try to be able to move up. We're less than 30 seconds out. 30 seconds. We're getting ready to kick off. It's day number 1 of the McNeely's Group, the Blue Dome Criterium. 3 days of Tulsa Tough Racing kicks off right now as we get ready to count you down, all 122 riders in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. We are underway.
This is a massive field, 122 riders. We have one rider already having a problem. Get clipped in. You better hurry up, and your race will be over, because that is not an official mechanic, but it looks like he's going to get the legs going and back into the peloton. Frankie, I find this to be one of the most interesting fields because it's a mixed bag of riders who want to be pros. You got ex-masters out there. You got some new guys who are just turning over to be Cat 2s and Cat 1s. And so this is a big mixed pot of cyclists, and they will be ripping it around this extended course this year here on the first day of Tulsa Tough, presented by St. Francis. I was going down the start list, and I saw 4 juniors in this field, 2 17-year-olds and 2 18 euros. So they will definitely be duking it out. It's always great to see the youngsters duking it out with the adults, and oftentimes coming across the line before the grown-ups, which I love. So as they kicked off the first lap, it looks like everyone is kind of just chilling right now. I saw some of the earlier races. They were kicking at around a minute 55 for their laps. I think some of the fastest laps were just under 2 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cat 1-2s will be doing. And here they are coming around on the first lap. And we are doing $100 preem on the first lap. And we have 2 United riders. No, that is not United. But we are giving out $100 $100 preem to the leader of the lap. And they are almost single foul along the straightaway here, making a right turn on Elgin. Good, how are you? Hey, good to see you out here. So 2001, you said Nesic won, and I didn't see him in this race, so he could potentially be racing in the one of the premier events tonight, the Pro Men's race.
That's a good point, because it is a Category 1-2. If it was just a Category 2 race, there's no way Ama Insek would be doing it. Insek also...
He was a national champion and collegiate national champion either last year or this year, I can't remember. But he's a multi-time national champion, really good bike rider. Just finished his education at Milligan, I believe, Michigan University. So he should be out here racing tonight. We'll look forward to seeing him. But right now we have our Cat 1-2s ripping around the hot streets of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they are coming around. We have a 3-rider lead. They are just off the peloton. I haven't seen the peloton come around that last corner yet. And they're going to just share this preem. We have 2 riders. I got to get the name of this team. 275 taking that preem for $100.
That's Olivia Lavier from Team Velovite Elite. That's a team out of Arkansas right now. 3 riders with about a 6-second gap. 6-second gap for our 3 riders up the road.
And the peloton doesn't look too interested in chasing them back right now. It is a hot, fast race. And as we saw in the other races, it doesn't take long to bring back brakes. We saw the 2 riders in the Masters race. They had up to 25, 26, 27 seconds. And then in a heartbeat, they were back. So as soon as the peloton gets motivated, it is a quick course, and they can bring back these brakes.
One thing to keep in mind right now is that every single race we have had today has been a breakaway. Nobody's been able to stay together. There's not been one big field sprint yet. Very tough course, 1.8 kilometers long. It's a little bit extended from what we had in the previous years. Once again, free laps are over with 4 laps to go. Still 8 corners as our 1-2s. Very talented riders out there. We talked about some previous winners before, like Ama Insek, a previous collegiate national champion. He has moved up races many times in the pro ranks. And then Austin Edgar, who was just finishing up 2nd in our Masters race. He won the Cat 1-2 race in 2022. So we should have possibly a brand new set of winners, or even the podium coming in for the 2023 race.
You don't often see a Cat 1-2 win one year and then followed up in the Masters race the following year. So you're dealing with a really good rider. That's exciting to see. And here's our breakaway, 3 riders, and just like that, half of their lead is down, and they're sharing the workload, but I don't think they will survive this race off the front too much longer, because this Cat 1-2 field looks pretty motivated right now to bring them back. But that team is on the front, covering every single move. The team out of Arkansas, Team Velovite Elite.
Road Crew Coffee Racing, the Missouri rider with Fraternardo in the front group. That alongside, he had a little bit of a partnership there. As you mentioned, working very well together with Colton and Echo from Velovite. And I believe the third rider unofficially, that was Oliver Lavier. He won that preem and then was managed to be able to rejoin with a couple other riders to be able to put themselves in that front group. So a rider out of Missouri and Arkansas and 2 riders out of Arkansas now find themselves with about a 4-second lead.
Yeah, I reckon they know each other, right? They know each other's strengths. Arkansas, Missouri, neighboring states, they probably race against each other all the time. So knowing who your competition is absolutely important. And so far, you know, they're working well together, but I think we will see the peloton all the way back together in the next lap or 2.
Nice move by that rider trying to be able to bridge across, sensing a little bit of the danger, perhaps trying to feel out like a little bit of a pause in that main group. Not a lot of riders keeping the momentum going, keeping it fast. And so he decided now's the time to be able to jump across that gap. Again, these riders racing longer than any of the other 2 races we've had. They're 45 minutes. Our Don Thornton Automotive Group, the Volkswagen, goes through, and now he made it up there. A fantastic move to be able to get himself in the front group. But man, this main group is right behind him, Rasan.
Yeah, they are right behind him, and I don't think they're going to get too much further up the road. I see a lot of hitters in this 1-2 group, and as you look towards the back, little gaps are starting to form. That just goes to show you that the speed is starting to notch up a little bit. And so when you're riding that far back, maybe 60, 70, 80 riders back, you're constantly in this yo-yo position, and using those efforts in 45 minutes, more than likely you're going to get dropped pretty soon. So it's very important to get in the top 25%, 30% of the peloton so you can save your legs and give yourself a chance to win. So this breakaway looks like they're kind of in no man's land. They're only about 2 or 3 seconds off the front, and it's one team just kind of controlling everything, looking around, and no one's that motivated, it seems, to bring them back. But I don't know, in the next couple laps, we will see the group back together. And then you have to watch out for the counterattacks. As Frankie said earlier, every single race today has been a breakaway, so you have to be very smart and very aware of what's going on. So if I was a competitor in this race, I would have paid attention to some of the earlier races and to make sure that I understand the dynamic of this race. And we have a beautiful drone shot here on the backside as they enter into the last 2 turns. Absolutely amazing. Love drone shots presented by H&P. So in just a second, they will be coming around the last turn, and just like that, our field is back together, and there's an attack coming through the straightaway, opening up a gap right now with about 4 or 5 riders. Rider number 319. That is Sam Redding from Groove Subaru XL Sports out of Colorado, the 33-year-old, making the peloton earn it right now. 33 is about the age I stopped racing full time because I was getting slower. And I knew one day I'll be hanging out on the stage with Frankie, multi-time Tour de France finisher. I believe he's on several teams that won the yellow jersey. And if you look towards turn 1, you will see the big Jumbotron, and this group is starting to pull away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders are now just dangling, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 seconds off the front. And this may, just may be the theme of the race. One group goes off the front, they come back, another group goes off the front until the end. The race is only 45 minutes, and I say only because typically race about an hour, maybe an hour 15. So this, being that the race is only 45 minutes, I think you will see that the speeds are a lot higher because it's just about 15 minutes shorter than what they're typically used to. And I think they'll be okay with that because it is very warm today.
With this group all together, 17 laps to go. I was just informed, Carlson family, racing for Tacos Bike Mart, Zachary Carlson and Chris Carlson. Chris Carlson is his dad, Zachary Carlson, his son. Chris Carlson, a super strong rider, both of them out of Texas. Zach Carlson, a former professional, now racing a little bit more for fun as they are both doing the 1-2s. The dad, obviously older, 60 years old, racing with the Category 1-2s today.
Is he really 60? Oh. I was in Texas earlier this year and saw him beat my teammate, Sharon Smith, in a head-up sprint. Sharon's pretty fast.
Sharon is a sprinter. Sharon is very fast. So Chris Carlson must be doing something right training. But yeah, 60 years old.
That's amazing.
Riding in this race with his son. So great to be able to see that. Huge group. We're going to be doing a preem next lap, giving my preem helpers a little bit of a heads up. Don Thornton Automotive Group. Here at the McNelly's Blue Dome Criterium, it's going to be $200. $200 winner of the lap. $200 cash. $200 cash to the winner of the lap. Riding on the front there, Alpecin. They got a very strong team going to be racing a little bit later today. That's Guadalupe Ontiveros.
Speaking of family, I saw CJ Williams from Legion of Los Angeles out there. He's in the Cat 1-2 race. You will see his younger and older brother racing tonight in the premier event. But yeah, awesome to see CJ out there. He does a lot of hard work behind the scenes to make sure Legion of Los Angeles rolls smoothly into bike races and be successful. So it's pretty awesome to see CJ out there.
CJ, one of the three brothers, along with Justin and Corey Williams. Justin and Corey, one of the fastest sprinters in the nation. They'll be racing in the Pro Men's race a little bit later on. $200 on the line as the riders right now all together on the backstretch. One guy attacking, trying to be able to get away from everybody else. That'll pay for a hotel room. That'll pay for a good meal. Hey, if you're walking around, you know the backside of the course, go over there. McNelly's bar, you can be able to get yourself something to eat and drink. McNelly's Group since 2009 have over 10 unique restaurants in different locations throughout Oklahoma and Arkansas. Not waiting around, wants to put that cash in his pocket only. Job done, well accomplished. Come on, cheer him on, he's going solo now. 15 laps to go. What a ride that is going to be able to go to Richard Bergeron, Arkansas racing for Velovit.
Get an attack by rider number 300 from Ride Bikes. That's Griffin Netmitz. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. He maybe want to get in on some of that cash that we're going to be throwing out. $200, like Frankie said. Hey, that'll cover some of the expenses for the weekend and while you have fun here racing in the sun. Tulsa Tough. I have my eye on the white tent across the street. I believe that's the Tito's tent. When are we wrapping this thing up? And so our preem winner is still off the front. I saw him take a swig of water as he rounded turn one. He is suffering though, but I think it was worth for the $200. I don't know. We have more preems. We have more money to throw at this guy.
We'll have a couple more preems to be able to give out a little bit later on. But that's where it's decision time. That's where a little bit of experience comes into play. You know, you go for the preem, you got to decide, are you going to stay away solo, or are you thinking about being able to sit up, save your legs, and be able to do something a little bit later on? A lot of racing still to go. We're only 15 minutes into the 45-minute race.
I'm taking the 200, and I'm going back to the field. I'm not going to waste all that energy. The attrition rate today is high in almost every race because of the heat, right? So if you're out there giving out that effort, when it's 60, 75 degrees, maybe that effort is only about 70%, but this is like 100% effort because of the heat. So He's got a hard, long road ahead of him, but he's doing a great job holding off the field right now.
He'll be able to go faster if you cheer him on. Make some noise. 14 laps to go. Look at that puppy paws. He's laying all over, trying to be able to get as aerodynamic as possible. He's 29 years old. He has about a 4-second gap, but on the chase right there, right behind him, that is Eric Snyder. Snyder for Pegasus Cycling out of Texas, 28 years old, trying to be able to bring him back.
In the Cat 1-2s, Frankie, do you see a lot of team tactics, or do you see a lot of like just guys kind of out for themselves, trying to impress the bigger teams, so maybe they want to perhaps jump over to the pro side?
I think a little bit depends on the club level and how organized the club level is, but mainly it's free-for-all. It's a bunch of riders wanting to impress. I mean, if you win Tulsa Tough, that's a big notch on your belt. That's a huge thing to be able to put on your resume.
Yeah, you're definitely on the radar. I just saw a story from one of my old teammates, Sergio Hernandez. He was out of a team. He came here in 2010. He did the Cat 1-2 race. He won the first day today, and a few weeks later, Jelly Belly, Danny Van Hout, signed him to a contract, which gave him some more years of racing at a pro level. So you're right. You win here, teams are watching.
Tulsa Tough, one of the biggest races in the entire United States. It's a who's who. You'll see that a little bit later on for our pro women and pro men. Every top-notch rider has come here to Tulsa to battle over the next 3 days. They talk about the national championships for USA Cycling for the Criterium championships. This is like the world championships. Very international field. Top-notch riders, the fastest of the fast, and that includes the category 1-2s as we are 13 laps out.
And the race is on now. I see a Texas Roadhouse rider on the front. Cadence Cycling. 2 guys in no man's land trying to bridge across. And the Peloton, Alpecin, DCC just kind of sitting on the front. Texas Roadhouse managing the pace to make sure he can give his guy the best chance to go off the front. We'll be keeping a close eye on this breakaway. And the 2 guys trying to get across. You get the right combination out here, they can put a dent into this group. And all of a sudden it's down to 2 riders. 1 rider perhaps had a mechanical, not sure exactly what happened to him. Or maybe the speed was just a little bit too much for him. We will see.
And that's a big factor, Rasan. You know, in this kind of heat, after you've been out there for 15 minutes, if you redline yourself, very easy to explode, to blow yourself up. And that's something these guys have to be aware of. Big crash, many riders going down the wall, be able to take a free lap. That'll put a little hiccup in their step.
Yeah, we were talking about the rider who was off the front, collected $200. If you get to that red line, it's almost like if you ride bikes and you've been on a climb and you go too deep, it's hard to recover. So I feel like he was out there going really deep, and this was a very nasty crash in one of the turns. Hopefully everyone's okay. And like Frankie said, they can get a free lap all the way up to 4 laps to go, and they will be looking at 13 right now. So don't ride backwards on the course. Just get to the pit right out of turn 1, and they'll get you back into the group.
We're looking at about 20 to 25 riders getting ready to be able to go into the pit. Big group going down and being held up, and they're all, so let's 2 riders, 3 riders trying to be able to go off the road. They're on their move right now. 13 laps to go.
270 from Texas Roadhouse. That's James Cross, presented by VQ. I believe that's VeloQuest or Vision Quest out of Chicagoland area. And look at the damage this chase has done to the field. Riders are sliding off the back every single lap.
So our leaders made it in that front group. David Gowana, Team Audi, McKenzie for Encore Wire out of Texas has made it into that. CJ Morrison from BMC Walmart Cycling is in the front group as well, along with James Cross from Texas Roadhouse Cycling.
Looks like some of our riders that fell to that crash will be going into the pit right now. And again, they have up to 4 laps that I can go into the pit. Now, once you have a crash, you have to get yourself together, work your way around the course and get immediately into the pit. You can't just hang out on the ground unless you're seriously injured. And our officials will let us know if you are injured. But you crash, you get up, assess everything, get to the pit, get your bike worked on, and then you have about 2 laps to get back into the field and start your race again. I have to tell you, when I was in crashes, I hated going to the pit because it's totally ruined my rhythm. And so I would rather avoid the crash and stay in the peloton. And there's rider number 298, followed by 252 and 270, Texas Roadhouse, still off the front. And our chase is coming from rider number 348.
No, I thought that was that's Dempsey Cifuentes in that purple jersey
Cifuentes.
trying to be able to go across. So Cifuentes realizing, but unbelievable that C.J. Morrison not really wanting to be able to work with 3 guys, perhaps the Texas Roadhouse guy not contributing, so he attacked. So our purple jersey is C.J. Morrison riding for BMC Walmart, going up the road with 1 other rider, deciding, you know what, I'm going to work with 2 riders instead of 3. 2 strong instead of 3 medium. And Cifuentes really showing his strength that he's not even waiting around for the rider that's on his wheel right now.
Yeah, I think he was paying attention to all the earlier races. I mean, you get out there, you can get out of sight, out of mind, which it really works here. You know, we have some short corners on this course, and if these riders get enough leeway where you can't see where they are, your motivation starts to dwindle down, and you're not that motivated to chase these guys. And it seems like they're playing a few games now. They're not cooperating with each other. The cadence rider is not pulling through when flicked through. So this will disrupt their breakaway. And if the field continues to push hard, they will be back into the peloton pretty soon.
Riders getting ready to see 10 laps to go. On the front right now, that's David Gowan in the white and yellow. 26 years old, right behind him, the 22-year-old in purple, CJ Morrison, and 1 rider has bridged up. They have dropped 2 and they have gained 1. What an incredible bridge as he has made it up. There is Justin Bold coming out of Florida, 48 years old. I know that name, Justin Bold, a very prominent name on the circuit, and he has just put himself in the top 3 in this race.
What effort from Justin Bold. Did you say he's 48 years old? You could tell that was a big effort because he came across, his knees are kind of poking out a little bit. That means he's dug really deep. So it'll be interesting to see if he can recover and if these 2 riders will allow him to recover. And he's not even waiting on him to recover. He said, I'm going straight to the front. He's going to use his weight, his gravity to keep going towards the front. He's at an advantage going downhill. He's a little bigger than the 2 guys off the front that he just went across to, and this is a brilliant move. You love to have a guy who is committed to riding hard off the front, and he is going hard for them.
So I stand correct, Justin Bold, 36 years old.
Still impressive.
Still impressive. The move is what's impressive, to be able to get across there. You saw how quickly C.J. Morrison, the 22-year-old, was trying to be able to keep this group up. These 3 right now are committed. They are not waiting around. Their race is going up the road, especially for Morrison. Look at that, Bold just digging it. He's biting on his stem, trying to get as arrow as possible, trying to not let the young rider that comes out of Oklahoma escape, and that's exactly what Morrison wants to do. He wants to win this race all by himself. He doesn't want to take any chance for a sprint. Getting ready to come around the final turn on this race course with 9 laps to go. Look at that gap, 2 seconds. Bold looks over his shoulder. He needs some help. 9 to go, 9 to go, 9 to go, and he's pulling away from him. He started to be able to move up the road, and no help seems to be coming from Gaona.
This is a very interesting time of the race. By staying off the front right now, 9 laps to go. They're averaging just over 2 minutes a lap. That is a very big effort, and so he's going to have a long way to go to make it to the finish line. However, he looks really good. He's in a very aero position, and the 2 riders behind him looks like they're playing some games right now. So the field could potentially catch the 2 riders right off the front, and Bowles can continue to extend his gap, and he is absolutely extending his gap. The peloton cannot see him whatsoever. He may be able to do it. Still a long way to go. I hope he pulls it off. C.J. Morrison. Absolutely crushing it right now. Who will be seeing 8 laps to go when he comes out of this last turn?
Look at his form. You can tell he looks strong. If you're looking at that big screen, he's like in formation. He's locked in, elbows bent, legs turning around, making a great move here. He has dropped the 2 riders he is with. So right now, he's not worried about the 2 riders that right behind him. He needs to be worried about the chasing field, the other 100 riders that are in this race. Cheer him on with 8 laps to go. Morrison going up the road. Look at these 2 guys. They're looking over their shoulder because they know the pack is coming. Morrison goes around turn number 1. The field comes around the final turn. Time gap there for 20 seconds. Riders, 20 seconds to 1 rider up the road. 20-second gap. Look at that team coming together right there. That is Torchy's Tacos Bike Mart. I talked about the family of Zach Carlson and Chris Carlson. Torchy's Tacos, Robinson Bike Mart. They have 3 riders now on the front. They're in the red, white, and blue, and they're trying to be able to bring back our sole leader.
It's going to take the entire field, Frankie. I mean, he's just absolutely in a zone right now. He's committed. He'll be seeing 7 laps to go. So he's got about, I don't know, what is that, about a 12-minute effort, which is still a long time under the sun right here in Tulsa. But he is looking absolutely phenomenal. He's got great position. He's in a slightly aero position. He's on an aero bike. He's doing everything the right way. He left his partners about 2 laps ago, and he's got 8 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, we talked about our earlier category 3s, the Masters. They were doing about 1 minute 50-second laps. Here, the pace is higher, 1 minute and 42-second laps as Morrison trying to be able to go away. That is an indication of how quickly this race is going.
Merchandise Preem. We got a Merchandise Preem. Merchandise Preem. You're looking at 7 laps to go and a Merchandise Preem. Now it looks like the field is a little more motivated to bring him back. We have an entire field on the front. 273. Omnia out of Oklahoma. Omnia team is on the front saying we cannot allow this 1 rider to just slip away from us. C.J. Morrison is on a tear right now, not worrying about what anyone is talking about. We'd love to get some time splits on C.J. See what his splits are. So we have a Merchandise Preem on the line for C.J. Courtesy of Cleveland Cycling Academy, which is a non-profit competitive cycling team and youth development program based in the Great Lake region. Shout out to Cleveland Cycling Academy. So we will see our pace car rip the corner. There it is, that Volkswagen. Looks like a GLI. And our leader, CJ, seeing 6 laps to go and collecting the Preem right now. I don't think he's fading whatsoever, and the field can now see him. Remember, a couple laps ago, he was out of sight, out of mind. But Omnia is on the front, bringing back CJ, and they're doing a great job right now. We got a local in the race, rider number 228. That is Milas. What's his team? Logistics 918. Got a local. Milas Clark. Tulsa? We need the city. It just says Oklahoma. But I know Milas Sr. He used to live out in LA and rode bikes with him many times. Belizean family, so you know they're very close to the Williams brothers. Milas Junior looks up to that family, and he's blazing his own trail right now, which is amazing. Good to see. So we're doing another preem. So we're going to try to get this field extremely motivated, and we're going to throw out some cash money, $100, courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa. Tulsa is digging in their pockets. Thanks, Bicycle of Tulsa, for the $100 preem. We'll be dishing this out to the field. I know it's kind of cruel, because it is going to motivate the field to go faster and perhaps bring back CJ. But that's the joy of bike racing. You got to mix it up. CJ is seeing 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go, buddy. You're looking great. 5 laps to go. And here we are. We're going to ring a preem. I got $100 preem, $100 preem, and Texas Roadhouse is on the front. $100 preem to the field. $100 preem to the field. So let's keep a close eye on how close the peloton will be once they hit this last corner, given they have $100 up for grabs. When I was racing Frankie, I didn't go for anything unless it was $100. That was kind of like my threshold. $100, $200, $50, $20. I wanted to win the race, so it just wasn't worth to go for anything less than $100. But we will see if the peloton will come around Texas Roadhouse and actually sprint. Oftentimes, when a team is on the front racing and doing all the hard work, the peloton behind will just allow them to collect this preem. It's kind of like an unwritten rule, but sometimes that rule is broken, so we will see. I'm breaking the rule. I'm sitting 6-wheel, and I'm gonna nip Texas Roadhouse for the $100 and get back to 6-wheel. So they will be seeing 4 laps to go. CJ is here. Remember, no more free laps at 4 laps to go. If you're in the pit, you have to be out of the pit at this moment, or you are ineligible to get back into the group.
He's an Oklahoman trying to win right here in Tulsa. Cheer him on. Last year in 2022, he was your under 23 Oklahoma state champion. Look at this group now. They're starting to be able to get organized. Wow, no sprint for the field with $100 on the line. That is going to go to our, look at that echo, Jacob Lastly on the front right through.
Just like I thought, Frankie. No sprint from the peloton for the Hondo. I guess all these guys are rich. But it is a level of respect. Oftentimes you see that when a field is chasing like that, a team is chasing, they just allow them to roll across the line, take that 100 so they don't interrupt that chase. But
pretty interesting. Omnia on the front right there trying to be able to get up the road. That is a team out of Oklahoma. Jacob Lastly and Seth Lastly, 2 riders, 46 years old and 20. Another dad-son combination that is on the front right there.
And look, LeBron thought he was going to be the first one to do it.
Absolutely. Everybody's trying to be able to win this bike race right now. We are coming down to 3 laps to go.
So, Frankie, you think he's going to make it?
I do. I think he looks strong, and I think he's going to have a chance to be able to make it. He is locked in. He's turning those legs over, going very well. So I really believe C.J. Morrison should be able to make it. The one way C.J. Morrison's going to be able to make it is by you guys cheering him on. Here comes our pace car, the Don Thornton Automotive Group pace car, and here comes C.J. Morrison. Come on, Tulsa, make some noise. There's only 3 laps to go, and there they are. He's got to be able to hang on. The more energy you give him, he has a better chance. But here comes the field.
I got the most interesting fact that was fed to me just a second ago. CJ raced an Ironman only 3 weeks ago. Say what? I don't think there's another rider out there that can do that. That's why you see him off the front. He's used to the pain. He's used to riding by himself. And that is absolutely amazing that he completed an Ironman just 3 weeks ago, and now he's leading in the Criterium here at Tulsa Tough with just 2 laps to go. He did an Ironman.
That's crazy. He did I thought.
Not Ireland, an Iron Man. That's the LA accent coming out of me.
Yeah, I thought Rastan was saying he was in Ireland. He did an Ironman. An Ironman competition. In other words, a big triathlon. That's what he did. So, yeah, pretty remarkable that he's here. That's why he's so strong. He knows how to time trial. That's what Ironman is. Run by yourself, ride by yourself, swim by yourself. But right now, he's about to be gathered back up. The reign of C.J. Morrison is over as we are coming down to 2 laps to go. Now the question, has all the work that Omnia has done, the team out of Oklahoma with those bluish jerseys, can they pull off a victory?
You know, they look really, really good right now. If I were them, I would just reshuffle a little bit, slow it down just a hair. We have a big crash. Looks like an overlap of wheels. That's what happens in a straight line, and when you see a crash like that. So unfortunately for these 3 riders, their race is over because we are within the 4 laps. And Omnia still on the front looking good. They are looking absolutely amazing. I see they have one guy sitting 4th wheel, maybe their sprinter, rider number 227. Usually you look at the guy who's sitting on the back, and that's Emerson Cifuentes. We talked about him earlier. Is he the sprinter?
Maybe Cifuentes is the sprinter. Absolutely. He was in an earlier move trying to be able to break away. All riders seeing 2 laps to go, 2 laps to go.
And he is out of the race. Cifuentes is out of the race. He has his hand up. Looks like he's got a flat or some sort of mechanical. So Omnia now has to total reshuffle, maybe do a Saturn sit-up. That's where you go hard. You allow one of your teammates to kind of roll off the front and catch the group by surprise. Because if they don't have a sprinter now, what are they leading out for?
Well, they've been controlling the race, trying to be able to do this. So Seth Lastly right now on the front, the 20-year-old trying to be able to keep things together, but they are going to get swarmed. As the pace slows down, that is where it becomes dangerous. We are getting ready for 1 lap to go. 122 riders on the start line, not that many at the finish. It's the first day. McNally's group, Blue Dome, Criterium, and we're getting ready for the 1-2 with the final lap. It's going to be 1 lap to go.
All right, Tulsa. This is the time to make some noise. Let the riders know that you're here and alive and enjoying yourself. When we get the 1 lap to go, we need everyone to make some noise here in Tulsa. All right, here they come. Here's our lead vehicle, and here comes our moto. And certainly you will see our riders, and they're going to be seeing 1 lap to go. Here we go. Come on, Tulsa, make some noise.
Looking at the sprint starting with a full lap out. Got to be in position, got to be in the front. He's not waiting around. Michael Lambert from Velvet Racing Team out of Wisconsin on the front, stringing it out, trying to be able to go as fast as he can. He's now waiting for the final 200 meters. He's going with 1.8 kilometers out. That's a long lap, isn't it? 1.8K. That is a long ways to go, but he thinks he can be able to do it.
He's committed. He's not looking back, which is a great thing. He's taking the corners the right way. He's got to get a little bit more aero. Oh, he's looking back. That is a sign of weakness. No looking back. He's got to go all in. He's got to turn himself inside out. He cannot worry about the finish. He's just got to go as hard as he can go, and he's doing a great job right now. All right, here we go. We got about 4 turns to go. And our leader is looking very, very good. The peloton is about 4 or 5 seconds behind him. He's out of the saddle sprinting, trying to get everything out of himself right now. And the peloton's looking around. Frankie, I think he may make it. I think he's going to make it, Frankie.
Look at him. We're spread out across the road instead of being in one line. Lambert getting ready to be able to come into one of those final turns. He went with 1.8 kilometers out.
He's got it.
Here he goes, coming around the turn. Tulsa.
He's got it.
Cheer him on. Oh, no. Here they come. The sprint is on. It's a mad dash to the line.
It's got to be
It's
close.
going to come down to a bike throw.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
pass right at the finish. Your winner
258.
coming from behind, Andy Huser.
Team
Huser out
Audi
of
McKinney.
Texas. Team Audi McKinney, 25 years old, taking the win, passing Lambert at the very last possible moment. Hauser coming out on top.
So Team Audi McKinney They actually had a perfect race. They had a guy in the break earlier, forced the team to bring him back, and then they had their sprinter clean it up. That's how you win a bike race, ladies and gentlemen. Carlson, give us a wave. Give us a wave, Carlson. Way to go, buddy. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most exciting finish you may see today, with one guy off the front getting caught with only about a few feet to the finish line. What a race, what an effort.
Excellent job, cheer him on. What a ride going through right there. That was CJ Morrison in that purple jersey at round number 1. What an incredible ride by the young 22-year-old. Unofficially, Hauser takes first place. Second place is going to go to Lambert just by an inch. And third place is going to go to Will Coleman from Texas Roadhouse. Once again, top 3 for our 1-2s to the podium area, please. Steve. Hey, Steve. 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 Steve, can you hear me? Steve. Referee Steve. Once again, pro women to the line. Love to be able to get the pro women to our staging area. That last race coming down to inches. Wow. The McNally's Group Blue Dome Criterium never disappoints. Category 1-2 race being decided by an inch at the finish line. Took a flyer and it almost paid off. Once again, like to be able to get our pro women to the staging area. Pro women to the staging area. To right there. Pro women to the course. Pro women to the course. Riders to the line, please. Riders to the line. We're getting ready for the pro women's event coming up next. That is going to be 70 minutes of racing. Very international field. Riders coming from all around the nation to right here in Tulsa. Photographers, make room for our Don Thornton Automotive Group. Doing an excellent job with our pace car. Ladies and gentlemen, I would